Hi guys, and welcome to part 2 of Ragnarok Online 2. And unfortunately on the last video, even though it was long, I didn't get to finish all of the mechanics slash features of the game. So I'm gonna try to go quickly and finish that part up and then show you a little bit of what I think are hints and tips, at least, to play this game. They're not anything special, but yeah, let's get started. So, skill tree. If you press T, you'll see your skill tree. Now, when you begin, you'll have actually 2 tabs on the bottom, but because I've already job changed, I have 1. But it's all the same. So I will. Oh goodness. So I'll tell you how it works. So basically, these lines tell you that you need a skill point here to progress to the second skill point, and then so on. If you don't see an arrow, that means you don't need, like for example, this fire emblem to get earth emblem, and so on. So in this game, compared to Ragnarok 1, you needed to, in Ragnarok 1 you needed to get at least like level 3 of something in order to get the next skill. But in this one, you only need to put 1 skill point in that skill in order to get to the next skill. So if you actually see, I have a lot of skills where it's just level 1, and that's because I just needed it to get to the next skill that I wanted. And so that's pretty much skills in a nutshell. The next one is the card system, which is a bit more, not complicated, but a little bit lengthier. So I'm going to open my character page and then the card thing, card book. So here you can see cards, you still get them from monsters, but they drop at certain brackets. So if you have like a normal monster, it'll drop more of its card rather than a rare card, which is in blue. And in this card collection book, you can click on the cards that you already collected and see what skills, or not really what skills, but what stats there is. And even with the ones you didn't collect yet, you can still see the stats. So I'm going to close this, and if you go to your character info and you go to card, this is where you can insert your cards. Now when you begin, you only have the first slot open, and when you gain levels, slots will keep on opening until level 40 when you get your last slot. So how do you do this? So you basically drag a card in and place it in there. Now if your card is a regular card, like a green card, I'm not really sure if there's any other colors other than green and blue, but if you want to swap, say for instance, the creamy card with a K familiar card, the creamy card would actually be destroyed and you would not be able to get it back. If you have a blue card instead in here, I've heard, and I haven't really tested it yet, but if you had a blue card and you switched it with a green card, the blue card should stay intact and should return to your bag. I'm not sure, and if anybody wants to kind of confirm that, be my guest, leave it down there, or leave it, like message me and I'll get the news to everybody. But yeah, now eventually you'll actually get too many cards, like useless cards, either because the stats don't match what you want or it's just like low level. And if that's the case, you go to the card master, and this is in every town, and you can click on him and you basically combine 5 cards to make a somewhat new card. Well, like at least a better card. So you would need to buy the card synthesis stone, which you can buy from him at a cheap price of 20 rupees. And then you go back to him and you just click on combine. Now, like I said, you need 5 cards, so you can combine this with this. Oh no, it has to be on the same level. Okay, let me not. So this level, let's see, reset. So this one, and if you see this kind of card, the rocket card with like a normal plus or whatever, that means that is a card that you already combined and have created. And you can actually reuse it, as you can see. So once you get all 5 cards filled up, or 5 slots filled up, you put in that little synthesis item and then you click combine, and hopefully you get a good card out of it all. And if not, then oh well, whatever. So yeah, the next thing is the flying Caphra, and that's basically a Caphra that flies you across maps. Or parts of the map. If you open your map tab thingy, you can see this is like the icon for it, and you can fly to these different areas. There's one over here behind this other bag, and then one in town. So if you go here in town, you can see I can fly to any one of these for just a cheap price. But if you happen to fly with this Caphra, and I've already tested this out, you are only able to fly to town. You're not able to fly to these two. So you do have some restrictions on some of the places depending on what Caphra you choose, but in a sense it still beats walking there, if anything. The next thing is the actual Caphra, which is basically the same thing as an R01, and she will be your save point, a person to buy butterfly wings, or a person to sell things to, and your storage. Now the storage is quite small, and I'm not really sure how to get the second storage, or the second part of storage 1, and if anybody actually knows, then please share it with us. And I'm gonna guess that you need to buy it in the Caphra item shop, but I'm not definitely sure about it. And then the last thing I want to talk about is vending. Now vending in here is quite easy and simple. You just go to your map, click on vend, and then you would just drag your items here. And I can't sell that, okay. Drag your items and then put a price. Name your vending vendor name, and you can open vend. You can also sell your services, crafting services, to players. By when you click on craft item, it will open your crafting window, and you just right click and enter the amount that you want to charge them for, like kind of using your service basically. Now you don't need to supply them with these items. They can just get it by themselves in the auction house and in crafting NPCs. So yeah, I'm not sure if you do have an item available, if they use your item or not. But you don't have to. You can like maybe put that somewhere else. Hopefully it doesn't use your item. And I'm pretty sure you can have like 2 things going on, but it just, yeah. And that's it. Hopefully I did that quick enough. So I'm going to talk about just now tips and hints about the game. So starting actually in self-playing, once you leave Prontera and head out into that field, the next field, you will see somebody called the Monster Buster over there, and he's in this small town once you get out of Prontera. And you don't actually, he's not, the Monster Buster isn't actually there during the 2 beginning maps. So yeah. So what he actually does is he just sells scrolls to have like quest scrolls. And obviously you can see why this is good, because actually at level 24 I've already done all the quests, and I still needed a couple more experience to get to 25 to job change. So having these scrolls will actually help you, and I probably will buy some later to level. So that's a nice handy way of leveling. It's quite similar to like GD, like my other games, and oh no, Eden had one, but with like a guild kind of aspect. So that's a guy to look forward to, or to look out for. You also have these dailies on these post boards, and they again are around the map. There's one in Self-Plane and then one in Izlude, and probably some other places. And they also give you quests to do for EXP. There are monsters around the map, and they don't technically give you EXPs, but let me go to one and then I will explain it. So be right back. Okay, so I'm finally here at what I wanted to show you. Now these are kind of like map bosses, monster thingies, and they do, well, this woman is taking it really easily, but usually if you're around the same level as it is, you will need to be in a group at least to kill it. You won't be able to kill it by yourself. And she drops blue weapons and like blue cards or whatever. The only bad thing is if there's more people that kind of want to do it along with you, they won't be able to get the items because of the party system and the way that like no kill still kind of works. So I think they respawn fairly frequent, but there's like a big, oh, I can't move, what the heck. There's kind of like a big time gap before it actually reses back. Like I think maybe, I'm gonna say 10 minutes. But yeah, there's at least one in every map. I think there's actually like a few maybe for each map. I think at least one. And you'll see, you'll know where to find them because the Caphra kind of quest achievement things will have it as one of their quests to kill each one on each map. So don't worry if like you kind of happen to miss it, you'll get it. Next thing I wanted to run over to is to Prontera to show you the auction house. So okay, once again, I'm sorry, but I'll be right back to show you that. Finally made it to Prontera, and so for this auction house, it's in the middle of Prontera actually, and next to your Caphra, you kind of go in this building, and I actually advise you not to be on a mount while doing this because you can actually get stuck, which I've already done before and had to use a butterfly wing and walk back to Prontera. So on this side right here where you can see everybody just cluttering around, the auction lady is right here. And this is where people and you yourself can go and buy ingredients to make stuff using people's services that they've allowed you to use. They have cards and other things. It's quite good. It's quite cool. So that's one thing from Prontera that needs to be shown. The second thing I want to be showing you is where you can get your Peko, because I know everybody's favorite thing, minus the pourings, is the Peko. Now if I can only just, okay, here we go. So I will be back. Okay, finally on this side of town. It's actually right next to where you enter town from the starting map areas. And if you just look to, let's see, your left, you'll be able to see the mount manager. And from there you can buy your Peko. And it does cost a lot, in a sense that it will cost a lot to you when you start, when you begin this game. So it's 10 zenny to buy it, and the food, you don't need to buy it. It just makes you go faster. But I mean, you're already going fast enough, in my opinion, maybe, than when you're walking. You're like going 40% more faster. So that's the two like main things that I want to talk about. Oh, but in Prontera you do your job changing here. So once you hit 25, you want to come back to Prontera to do it. And it's quite easy. I really only had to do like running around the town on a timer and then fight this weak monster, and literally that was it. I got my job change. It's really easy versus like RO1 where you like had to travel maps and get items and stuff like that, which was like a pain in the butt actually. But yeah, another tip is questing. You want to do your quests around your level, meaning like if you have a quest for level 17, you want to do it at 17 or whatever, around your level, because afterwards it's just gonna be worth shit to you, literally. I before skipped some quests and went back to do it and just got like nothing out of it. I got 1 EXP for killing the monsters and like maybe a few EXPs for completing it. So it's really wise of you to kind of finish all the quests within your level and within a map before proceeding on, which was like a big like bad thing that happened to me. I just like skipped this whole map almost, like a lot of the quests, and just went to the next Islud Hill and leveled there, and yeah, I came back here doing it and got nothing. So that's another tip for you. A second tip with leveling is that you would want to do it with a party as much as you can if you can find one, because even though the XP is split, you'll do it faster obviously, and it'll go much quicker. Like you trying to kill like 20 monsters with just yourself is quite like long and boring, and in my opinion maybe it's just like a mind trick thing. It just makes it seem like you're leveling really slowly. And I'm saying this out of like experience because I was around level 20 and I was just like mindlessly killing monsters and not getting much EXP from it. And it's just because like you kill it really slowly for the amount of time you spend on it. Whereas when I was partying with people, I got my levels hella quick, and that's because of just completing the quests faster. Quests give you a lot of EXP, even if you don't think so. I mean, like, you're better off doing quests than grinding monsters, like, seriously. So in this game, no grind. We'll have the quests work for you, basically, and you'll be fine. So I think that's all the tips I can give you about leveling, other than yeah, I don't even have anything else for leveling other than that. The basics of this game, not really basics, but like how it feels to play it is, sorry to say this, Gravity, but it's quite boring. As you can see, probably I'm only using one skill, and that's because that skill is pretty okay. It only takes 1 second to cast, and it does quite a lot of damage versus like other skills. So in this game, actually, you'll probably see yourself only using 1 or 2 skills throughout your whole gameplay, at least before you job level. But even after you job level, the skills don't get any more exciting-er, and I'll show you. So for Sorcerer, you're not supposed to have Jubilee Thunder, but Ragnarok 2 has decided that Sorcerer should have it. So I'm gonna cast it for you, and you can see how boring it looks like. And it kind of loses the feel of Ragnarok. Even though it was 2D, the skill animations were really like just wow, right? But in this game, it's really bland and really boring. I mean, Vertir or whatever spear, in the first one, it just came out of like the sky, like a spear coming out of the sky and just like bashing the hell out of the monsters. But in this one, it's an instant cast, and it's just a piece of lightning bolt just like going to them. Like, you know what I mean? It's not very exciting, and it doesn't make the gameplay any exciting or either. I have Lord of Vermilion, which is really shit damage, and even when I probably level it up later on, it's still gonna be shit damage, as you can see right here. Again, the animation isn't that spectacular, and I hardly did any damage to that fucking thing. So skill-wise, it is kind of bland. I mean, even this has a lot of cooldown time. Priest, and even for sorcerers, because we get to res people too, is quite a drag, because resing, if you get it to level 1, you have to wait for like a 50-minute cooldown time, and that's kind of pushing it. And when you level it up to the max level, you still have to wait 30 minutes to res somebody. So I don't know if they'll change it. They should change it, because that's stupid, really. But yeah, my other skills, at least for this class, isn't too bad. Later on, it'll take up a lot of my SP, and I'm not complaining about SP, but it's just on hindsight, I probably should have gotten more wisdom or something. Land of Recovery is a good skill to get. Deluge is not too bad, but SP cost is quite high. As you can see, it's 30 versus like 9 on just a level 1. You can cast 2 of them, I think, at the same time, maybe. Let's see. Yes? Yes. I have something that summons an aqua guy that kind of looks like a genie, and he's pretty awesome. Not really pretty awesome, but he does an okay amount of damage for his kind of like skill. You can probably see him there. There you go. It's like a water genie. And so, I don't know if he'll like follow you, but if you have monsters around and you attack them, he'll attack it too. And he only lasts for like 30 seconds, and he attacks every 2 seconds. So, oh, he's not attacking it. Oh, there we go. Oh, I already killed it. No, you're so slow, genie. So yeah, in that sense, like gameplay is very boring other than the bad battle system to begin with on top of that. Graphics wise isn't anything spectacular. At least it's not very like shitty, but I mean, we have games right now that look really beautiful where this is still back in like 10 years ago or something like that. There's not really much other to complain about it. It's just the playing of it is, it doesn't feel like you're playing RO, but you're just playing some really old RPG game, so to say, I guess. So if I had to rank this game, probably like a 5 or a 6, and I'm probably even giving it more credit for it than it deserves. But I think it's just because I really like RO. Like I support it, but I still am disappointed about the game. If you want to try it out, be my guest and try it out. And if you do like it, leave a comment down saying why you like it. And if you hate it, also leave a comment down on why you hate it. And yeah, so that's all I really have to say. And if there's even anything more that I can do in this game and then make a video about, I will. But other than that, I will see you guys later, and I hope you guys enjoy this very long review on Ragnarok Online 2. Bye!